Night of Speed continues at Lucas Oil Speedway. The 10th annual MLRA Spring Nationals presented by Arizona Sport Shirts. Here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks in Wheatland, Missouri. Glad to have everyone along for the first of two nights. The season opener for the MLRA. 48 late models in the house. On a very brisk evening, I'm Shane Freeby. Billy Rock alongside, the voice of the MLRA, as you see the feature cars making their way out from over in Turn 2. After 4 heat races, qualifying, a couple of B features, the field is set and locked in and ready to go on a cool night. We actually got close to 80 degrees earlier on today, but the winds knocked that temperature down, now down to 58 degrees, an 8-mile-an-hour gust out of the south, gusting up to around 25 or so. Low humidity. That flag was sticking straight out earlier in the night as the field has made their way out. Lots of track prep has been done with the wind that has occurred over the afternoon and evening hours. They have continued to till the track up, pack it back down, trying to keep it as race ready as we can. And now for 5,000 to win, these late models, Billy, ready to put on a show as we set the grid for our main event. Top 4 drivers up on the top 2 rows, all won their heats earlier on. The 4-time Lucas Oil late model champ out of Jacksonville, Florida, earns the top spot. EPJ, Earl Pearson Jr., will set on the pole. And a rookie in the MLRA season, Dylan McCowan. He was a 2-time modified champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He starts outside row number 1, the 2021 Rookie of the Year. He currently sits number 1 in the Lucas Oil Late Model Division. Ricky Thornton Jr. out of Martinsville, Indiana, starts inside row 2, and Mr. Smooth, Billy Moyer Sr. from Batesville, outside of him.
Back in row number 3 out of Oxford, Iowa, 15-time Lucas Oil MLRA winner. That's the 32 of Chris Simpson. To his outside, tonight's My Race Pass Fast Time Award winner. That's the 32 out of Oakwood, Illinois, Bobby Pierce. Back in row 4, a great run earlier on tonight for the 2 machine of Tyler Stevens out of Searcy, Arkansas. And to his outside, the 96 machine out of Bentonville, Kentucky, it's going to be Tanner English.
Take you back to row 5, the 11H from Festus, Missouri is Jeff Herzog. Then it's Superman, the 3-time Lucas Oil late model champ from Blairsville, Georgia. Jonathan Davenport starts outside 5. Stormy Scott from Las Cruces, New Mexico, starts back in 11th. And then a 4-time World of Outlaw champion, Brandon Shepard, starts in 12th.
Back in row number 7, he rolled off scratch in his heat tonight, raced his way in. That's St. Charles, Missouri, is the 11G of Gordy Gundaker. And to his outside, your defending USMTS Modified National Champion, the 28 in the MB Custom, it's Dustin Sorensen. In row 8, the 11 out of Meridian, Mississippi, it's going to be Spencer Hughes. And to his outside, it's the Squirrel out of Chatham, Illinois, the 3S of Brian Shirley.
Drivers that had to work their way in through the B feature. Garrett Alberson out of Las Cruces, New Mexico, will start inside row 9. Daniel Hilsebeck outside of him. Then it's Logan Martin from West Plains, Missouri. And one of the drivers locally out of Aurora, Missouri is Cole Wells.
Back in row number 11, 25 of Chad Simpson, your defending MLRA Series champion, raced in, as did the 93 of Mason Oberkramer, your 2 final qualifiers for tonight's 40-lap A-feature event. MLRA Provisionals tonight going to the 15V. Your runner-up from a year ago, Ashland, Illinois' Colby Vandenberg, and the 78 of Steve Stoltz from Peoria, Arizona, and electing to take emergency provisionals into this MLRA season lid lifter tonight. That's the 56 of Tony Jackson Jr. and the 1X of Aaron Morant out of Richmond, Missouri, completing our 26-car starting grid here at the Diamond of Dirt Tracks.
MyRacePass.com preliminary qualifying. Earl Pearson Jr. in Group 1 set down a blistering pace of 16.712 seconds. We thought it was blistering at that time until Group 2 came out. 8 cars all had faster times than Earl Pearson Jr. Smooth operator Bobby Pierce, a 16.337. had the fastest time overall. The Bill Roberts Chevrolet Pace Truck lights have gone dark. It will make the hard right-hand turn whenever it goes into turns 1 and 2. The MAV TV truck will now be your new Pace Truck, as all of the cars will line up, stack them side by side, 2 by 2, 26 cars strong. Yellow light has been turned off. Green flag in hand, ready to get underway from the 10th annual MLRA Spring Nationals.
Caution flag will fly, looks like one more time. We're going to stretch it out one more lap. We'll see if we get the one to go this time by. As looks like these drivers may put a little heat into this racetrack, Shane. We've seen the Show Me Vintage cars out here, so going to take a couple laps, let these guys work it in, as this track was completely torn up after the MLRA B features tonight. So giving them a little opportunity to get a little feel for this racetrack before we go green. But how about a 51-year-old pole sitter in Earl Pearson Jr., a 4-time Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series champion, and a 19-year-old starting to his outside. We've got two ends of the spectrum on the front row of this one, and this is going to be a doozy as these guys pilot down into turn number 1.
Wiley veteran on the inside, somebody that can't get a stiff drink at the Diamond Bar starts outside of him. Hasn't even turned 21 yet, but he has a lot of experience, 2-time modified champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Made a run at the USRA National title, just came up a little short, getting his feet wet, dipping the big toe in the water of the MLRA.
Row 2, not much difference. You've got Ricky Thornton Jr. back there and the veteran Billy Moyer Sr., Mr. Smooth. Off the exit at turn number 4, 40 laps the distance. Lucas Oil MLRA Spring Nationals under the green flag here in Wheatland, Missouri. As top 2 drivers going to side-by-side it off the exit of turn number 2. McCowan will edge ahead down the back straightaway. Looking to lead his first lap ever in Lucas Oil MLRA competition. He'll do just that as Earl Pearson tucks back in line in the second spot. Here comes heavy pressure from Ricky Thornton Jr. down to the inside.
Ricky Thornton Jr., number 1 in the Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series point standings right now. Unable to make the pass on EPJ on that opening lap. Stays 1 car length right behind him. Everybody staying down low on the track. Now we're going to start to see the cars start to migrate more towards the top as laps start to click away. They did that earlier on in the evening. Right now, Jonathan Davenport, the first to step out of line in the 49, going way up on the top shelf, just trying to make some hay.
Just trying to make something happen up on that top side. Right now is the time to do it. If you can be the first to make that lane work, and Chris Simpson's not about to let that happen as he slides right up in front across the nose of that longhorn of Jonathan Davenport. They're going to battle off the exit of 2, but so is Billy Moyer and Bobby Pierce. Pierce, your Fast Time Award winner earlier on tonight, works the bottom side. He'll get that longhorn chassis hooked up alongside of Moyer. They'll drag race it down into turn number 1. As right now, Dylan McCowan quietly starting to stretch out the advantage out in front over Earl Pearson Jr. How big would the upset be here tonight if youth could prevail in this lid lifter?
You know, we had a feeling Dylan McCowan was going to be something special as he runs out front right now. Started out in a B mod, made his way to the modified. Now, first year in an open late model, did a little bit of late model racing last year as now you start to see Bobby Pierce reeling in Ricky Thornton Jr. Pierce still stuck back and forth. Ricky Thornton Jr. up in third. And side-by-side action as Jonathan Davenport makes a move to the inside of Billy Moyer Sr.
Davenport started back in that 10th position on the grid, is really starting to come through here early on. 6 laps on the board. Let's put 7 on this time by. And this is one of these things we're going to watch over the course of this race. McCowan is used to running 18, 20 lap A features here at the Diamond Dirt Tracks. You've got the veterans. You've got Pearson. You've got the 20 of Ricky Thornton, Bobby Pierce back here. Are they taking care of the equipment a little bit more? Are they letting the youngster get out there and learn a lesson per se? Or is he about to legitimately shock things here at the Lucas Oil Speedway? As I believe he's out to a 1.536 second advantage as the pressure begins to mount on the back bumper right there of Earl Pearson Jr. as Thornton once again down to the bottom side through 3 and 4.
Ricky Thornton makes the move to the inside. He jumps up to second, gets around EPJ, completing lap number 9. All in the meantime, Dylan McCowan has kept that steady distance between he and second place running cars up to 1.7 seconds now. As you see Bobby Pierce start to look to the inside of Earl Pearson Jr. Good side-by-side battle here as EPJ starts to charge up to the front.
And I think it's going to get interesting here in about another 4 or 5 laps as he catches on the backside of this field. Aaron Morant looks to be the first car that may go a lap down in this 40-lap A-main event. We're going to put 11 on the board this time by. Watching how McCowan navigates through the lap traffic is going to be the next thing we're about to see here at the Lucas Oil Speedway. Is don't look now, but Ricky Thornton Jr. really starting to make a charge towards the front right now in that 20 RT machine as he'll dive down to the bottom side. And Shane, he has literally come out of nowhere in this last lap and a half, and Thornton is going to be right there with him as they get ready to approach lap traffic.
He'll be right there with him. Another car on the move, and you saw it there just momentarily. Jonathan Davenport has jumped up 5 spots. He's broken up into a top 5 party right now as these 3 cars starting to see a great battle up in front as RTJ has caught up with your race leader.
Thornton up on the top side. He will have to follow him down the backstretch. He's going to make the move down into turn number 3. McCowan will try and pinch him down to the bottom side, but Thornton, he'll dive to the bottom. He'll force him up the racetrack and off the exit of turn number 4. For the first time tonight, you've got a new race leader as Ricky Thornton Jr. You're on lap number 14, has snuck around the 19-year-old Dylan McCowan, and he is your new race leader.
And Ricky Thornton Jr. is getting close to qualifying at times. He has not quite broken into that sub-17 second range yet. He was 17.12 that last time by. We had 10 cars during qualifying break the 17 seconds. Now, obviously, qualifying time's a little bit different than in race action, but now you see the gap that RTJ has put over Dylan McCowan, and now McCowan in possible jeopardy of losing second spot as Bobby Pierce looks to the inside.
Pierce down on the inside, but out in front. It's almost like the 20 machine of Thornton hit a turbo boost button right there because he has really started to stretch this thing out. He has flipped the cards. He is now 1.5 seconds out in front. Let's make it 1.7, 3/10 of a second faster that time by for Thornton, as we now see the 32 machine of Pierce up into the second spot down the back chute. Still keeping an eye on that 49 and the 46 back there. A couple of wily veterans as they work their way off the exit of turn number 4. But now we're going to start to watch Bobby Pierce. Let's see if he can try and chase down the 20 RT of Ricky Thornton Jr. as we quickly approach the halfway point at tonight's $5,000 to win a main event.
The thing that Bobby Pierce has going in his favor right now is Ricky Thornton is starting to get up into lap traffic, and Bobby Pierce has some time before he starts to catch up with the slower cars. So if Bobby Pierce is going to make some hay, he's got to do it now. He's down by 1.6 seconds over RTJ, as Jonathan Davenport still stays in the top 5. He is down over Earl Pearson Jr. right now. Both of these cars are a good 3 or 4 seconds away from your race leader.
Here at the halfway point, we have gone caution-free. Tony Jackson Jr. right now took that emergency provisional into the show. Right now, he is your MD3 hard charger of the race, up 9 spots in car number 56, currently running in position number 16. He's a driver right now that would love to see a caution flag fly on this racetrack, give him a chance to regroup, because he is only about a straightaway in front of Ricky Thornton Jr. Now works down to the inside of Mason Oberkramer. A little touch and love off the exit of turn number 4 between those two, but we're still watching this great battle between the veterans right there on the bottom side of the 49 machine of Jonathan Davenport, taking that position away from Earl Pearson Jr.
Davenport by half a car length out in front of Earl Pearson Jr. that last time by. As they fly down the backstretch, the car on the top side, EPJ, will get a good run off of turn 4. Can he take the spot away from Davenport at the line? Not quite yet, as Davenport stays out in front just by a nose.
Battle down the middle of the back straight and into turn number 3. This time by, you're going to see 16 laps to go on that Lucas Oil Products scoreboard. As we continue to watch Thornton showing the way. Pierce not able to really close the ground right there a little bit, but down to 1.36 seconds. I guess it was up to 1.7. We'll check the My Race Pass timing and scoring this time by at the line. And a little bit faster that time by is Thornton, as he's using that lap traffic to his advantage and starting to stretch it out just a little bit more.
That screen right there shows 7 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championships between those two drivers. Jonathan Davenport won it 3 times. All of those came in the late 20 teens, 15, 18, and 19. Earl Pearson Jr., he did his quite a few years before that. 05, 6, 7, and 8 were his 4 championships, 4 straight during that time frame for the Jacksonville, Florida native.
Lots of championships, and you got a gentleman right there in that 20 RT that is looking for his first Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series championship. Been on the sidelines here for over a month since these guys have actually raced in the late model ranks. Ricky Thornton Jr. tinkers around with other things like midgets and sprints, and he has been racing a little bit here and there, anywhere he could scratch the itch. And tonight he's finally back in that late model, the 20 machine, the Hoker Trucking sponsored entry, as he's stretching it out over Bobby Pierce. You see him in the screen right there. You got to look quite a ways back there before you see Earl Pearson Jr. and the 49 of Davenport, but still holding a good line is Dylan McCowan, as right now he is rounding out the podium in his first Lucas Oil MLRA start.
Bobby Pierce got 0.2 of a second out of Ricky Thornton's lead that time. It's now down to 1.7. A lot of that due to lap traffic. As you take a look back again at 4th and 5th running Earl Pearson Jr. and Jonathan Davenport, we'd mentioned that high side was going to start to come in, and indeed it has. That is where EPJ is making up a lot of his time staying in front of the pilot of the 49. And now you see they can both spot Dylan McCowan, who is running in third, the rookie competitor who started out on a hot streak in this race, led the first 10 laps or so, got eaten up by Ricky Thornton, and now Jonathan Davenport and EPJ starting to catch up with the young Dylan McCowan.
Starting to chase him down. This track has gone to the high side here, but right now watching Thornton as he works his way down into turn number 1. He will slide across the nose of Stormy Scott. Some great racing down the back chute. If anything is going to happen, it's going to be Bobby Pierce's time to shine, but we continue to watch this battle for 4th and 5th as there you see Ricky Thornton Jr. starting to show it out in front as we've got just 7 laps to go. Works the top side, lap traffic in the rearview mirror for the time being.
So Ricky Thornton Jr., a winner 3 times already this year. He won 9 times a year ago and finished 3rd in the Lucas Oil Late Model Series with 2 wins just 1 year ago. He was a Rookie of the Year in that division. The year before that, he won the Dirt Track World Championship as well. He's got 1 MLRA win. Can he pick up win number 2? He has to split 2 slower cars just to get through lap traffic and maintain that lead.
Trying to thread the needle right there with Spencer Hughes back in that 4th and 5th place run. Now you've got Davenport trying to take the shot, trying to grab that podium position away from Dylan McCowan. McCowan fighting the veteran. McCowan will work the top side of turn number 1 and 2. Davenport almost stalls the car right there in the center as McCowan able to stretch it out once again down the back chute as we've got just 4 laps remaining in this 40-lap A main event.
You know, obviously it would have been nice to see Dylan McCowan win this one coming home. He finished 3rd at Springfield back in early March. He's got a top 5 run going now. Again, this is just a learning experience right now for Dylan McCowan. I don't think anybody expected him to be able to come out and dominate, but he has had a great showing tonight.
You know, Lucas Oil MLRA, we've seen Jeremiah Hirsch pull off the double just a handful of years ago. He won the Rookie of the Year. He won the championship in the same year. It's awfully early. We got 23 rounds to go after this, but you've all of a sudden got to consider a rookie driver as one of your contenders for your Lucas Oil MLRA title as we've got 2 laps to go for Mike Striegel this time by. Down the back straightaway we go and into turn number 3. White flag is coming at you this time, Shane.
One more time around as Ricky Thornton has built up a 4-second advantage. He sees the white flag. Only one more flag to go for RTJ.
Thornton got a couple of cars on the outside. He can really back it off at this point. Down into turn number 3. Works the bottom side. $5,000 Lucas Oil MLRA payday at the Arizona Sports Surge. Spring Nationals going home with the driver of the 20RT machine, Ricky Thornton Jr. will grab the MLRA win here tonight. A competitive win right there. He dominated from lap 14 on after he took the lead from Dylan McCowan. Grabs the win over Bobby Pierce, Jonathan Davenport. Into that 3rd spot at the line, Tanner English and Dylan McCowan hangs on and rounds out your top 5.
4th win of the year for RTJ.